If humanity was a book, 97% of its pages are missing forever. We know the last few chapters, but the rest, gone. No one will ever read them. Since Homo sapiens first appeared around 300,000 years ago, scientists estimate that more than 117 billion humans have lived and died. Every single one of them had stories, ideas, tragedies, and discoveries, and yet almost all of it has vanished without a trace. We've only been recording history for about 5,000 years, a blink in the timeline of humanity. That means 97% of human existence happened before writing, before we had any way to capture our stories. For hundreds of thousands of years, memories existed only in minds. And when those minds were gone, so were the stories. The earliest written records, like Sumerian clay tablets from around 3100 BCE, were the first time humans could capture events for future generations.
When you go to space, the country borders go away, except for two places. There are two places. You can still see two borders from space. One of them in the daytime, you can see the border of Israel with surrounding deserts, because Israel irrigates. And so it's green, and the surrounding areas are brown. You can see that from space. Another border, which you could see from space at night, is, of course, North and South Korea, right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's punched up. I mean, if you're in the dead of night, you don't know the difference between the ocean and the land as your sight line crosses North and South Korea.
How does a black hole manage to swallow a star 1,000,000 times bigger than Earth? Buckle up for a wild cosmic ride. A black hole isn't really a hole. It's a super strong gravity monster that can even trap light. That's why we can't see them directly. When a star wanders too close, the black hole's gravity pulls it in, tearing it apart like a cosmic paper shredder. As the star bits spiral in, they heat up and glow, giving us a glimpse of the black hole's feast. Black holes form from massive stars that run out of fuel and collapse under their own weight. Einstein said that mass bends space-time, and black holes bend it so much that nothing can escape. They'll eat anything nearby, stars, planets, or gas. While we can't see inside a black hole, they play a huge role in shaping galaxies. They influence how stars form and how galaxies evolve, reminding us that the universe is full of mysteries waiting to be explored. Without them, our universe might look very different. If you are interested in space and science, do follow our account.
The man who discovered a secret room beneath the house shocked the world when he forced it open and saw what was inside. Mark had bought an old house with the intention of renovating it into a warm and welcoming home. While renovating the exterior walls, he accidentally noticed a patch of grass near the wall that seemed unusually smooth, in stark contrast to the surrounding ground. Intrigued, he grabbed some tools and dug at that spot, uncovering a metal hatch leading to an underground passage. This discovery left him both uneasy and excited. Instead of opening the hatch immediately, he decided to contact the former owner to learn more. To his great surprise, the man reacted with panic. He begged him not to open the passage under any circumstances before abruptly hanging up. This mysterious warning only fueled Mark's curiosity. That night, unable to sleep and haunted by his thoughts, he finally gave in to temptation. Armed with a flashlight and a few tools, he returned to the hatch and forced it open. What he saw inside left him speechless. The scene was so shocking that his first instinct was
This is the real-life Cinderella, not the one with glass slippers. The real one lived in 1843. Her name was Ella, and she was sold to a nobleman who believed obedience was beauty. He made her sleep by the ashes and called her Cinder, said her feet were too soft, so one day he gave her a gift, a pair of shoes carved from real bone. The first time she wore them, she screamed, blood soaking through the soles. But the nobleman smiled, said they fit perfectly. Every night, he made her dance across stone floors, step after step, until her feet tore open. She cried, but he only watched. When she collapsed, he locked her in the tower. No one asked where the servant girl had gone. Years later, someone found the room. Inside, there were bones, still shaped like feet, still wearing the slippers. The nobleman denied everything, said she ran away. But the evidence told a different story. A girl in a torn dress, holding one bone shoe, and behind her, the nobleman watching.
The first Wiltshire crop circle has appeared, and it's going to kickstart the season like crazy. This piece of footage was filmed by Mark Breen. It's absolutely beautiful. You should go to his channel and check out these other stuff. But this is the crop circle itself. This appeared overnight on the 15th, and again, this is from Warminster, where I grew up. And I've got in contact with a farmer there called Julius. So in the next few days, I'm going to be visiting this site, and I'm going to be interviewing Julius himself. He's completely perplexed about what's happened here. I'm going to be going there, taking samples. I'm going to be taking measurements. I'm going to be researching the radiation in the ambient area, taking EMF readings, and I'm going to be logging the whole thing. And I will be making a mini-series on this specific experience. And Julius, the landowner himself, has got some incredible information. He owns multiple farms, and he's had a lot of weird and anomalous activity happen in and around his land, right? So being able to talk to him firsthand and walk around with him, I'm going to be live streaming this on Sunday as well. So stick around for when I go live, because it's going to get funky, mate. And I'm going to be presenting my findings and my research on the following Monday at the King of UFOs debut in the Karma Sanctum in London, that you guys can also come along if you so wish, mate. So yeah, let's get amongst it. And what a start to the season, mate. Celtic knot in nature. It's bang smack in the middle of two circular tree formations, which is very significant in nature. It's perfect, okay? Wonderful. And the Celtic knot symbolism, okay, for those of you who don't know, it's eternity, the cyclical nature of life, and the interconnectedness of all things. Death, rebirth, and all that wonderful stuff. So there's quite a deep meaning there. So what I'm going to be looking out for is the woven nature and any sort of anomalous activity to do with the grain itself. And then we're going to also inspect the grain as well. So again, we're going to be taking radiation readings to see if it's higher than the ambient environment outside of it. And we're also going to be looking at the grain nodes itself. And down here is the mutation that happen in legit crop circles that people can't explain, where the plant fibers are so perfectly woven on the ground, not a single thing is split or damaged. It's perfectly laid down and bent, and the nodes elongate due to mutation with the radiation that's there. So it's pretty interesting. So we're going to see and see how we get on.
They have been lying to you. There used to be a 13th month, but they erased it, leaving us with a false historical timeline. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar, but this calendar doesn't really make much sense. It was primarily designed to help people remember when to pay their taxes. The word calendar actually comes from calends, an ancient word meaning account book. The months in our current calendar are a complete mess. March is named after Mars, the god of war. July and August are named after Julius and Augustus Caesar, who decided they should each have a month named after them. But this is where it gets scary. The order of the months doesn't make any sense either. Septem means 7, Octo means 8, Novem means 9, and Decem means 10. Instead, the 13-month calendar used by many ancient cultures follows the natural cycles of the moon. It has 13 months each with 28 days, and if you multiply 13 by 28, you get 364 days, perfectly matching the moon's orbit. The 13-month calendar didn't just disappear, it was replaced with one built for control, not the truth. Comment moon below and I'll reveal the name of the lost month.
again. Oh my gosh.
On September 21st, Saturn will come closer to Earth than usual, shining brighter and more mesmerizing than ever before. On this night, the Sun, Earth, and Saturn will align perfectly in a straight line, an event astronomers call Saturn's opposition. Instead of its typical 1.4 billion kilometer distance, Saturn will be just 1.3 billion kilometers away, tens of millions closer than normal. This alignment will make the planet appear like a glowing golden yellow star in the night sky. And if you have a telescope, you'll get a chance to see its stunning rings and even some of its moons. You'll be able to spot Saturn right after sunset. And as the night goes on, the view will only get clearer and more spectacular. Opportunities like this don't come often, and if you miss it, you'll have to wait another year for the next one. So don't forget to mark your calendars and experience the rare beauty of a giant ringed planet shining directly above us.
Accidents that changed the world forever. In 1902, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt went on a hunting trip where he refused to shoot a bear that had been captured, deeming it too cruel and unsporting. The story spread rapidly and was then turned into a popular political cartoon. Inspired by this, toy makers created a stuffed bear and called it Teddy's Bear in honor of Roosevelt. The toy became a huge hit, and the teddy bear went on to become one of the most beloved toys in history. In 1895, a German scientist named Wilhelm Röntgen was experimenting with electrical tubes when he noticed a strange glow on his hand, which revealed his bones. He realized the electrical rays could pass through solid objects, but not the bones, leading to the development of X-ray imaging, which transformed medicine forever. In 1941, a Swiss engineer named George Mistral was walking through the woods with his dog when he noticed small, prickly seeds clinging to his clothes and his dog's fur. Upon examining them under a microscope, he discovered the tiny hooks on the seeds that allowed them to attach so effectively. Inspired by this, he created a type of fastening system, leading to the invention of Velcro, which revolutionized how things are fastened in a wide range of industries.
So you're telling me this guy flew over the ice wall with a jet he'd stolen from the research facility he worked for, and not only found this dark continent with zero sunlight, but encountered an anatomically derivative species of humans.
Exactly.
And because he allegedly streamed it live, you just take it as irrefutable evidence that it's true.
Not at all. Look, after I'd went down this rabbit hole, I realized that I just had to go ahead and see it for myself. And I mean, look, say what you want, but John Hemington was never seen again, okay? Which would make sense based on the horrific events that his stream ended with. But look, I found out the exact research center that he worked for. Okay, I knew that if I wanted to get over that ice wall, that company's jets were the only thing that'd do it.
You're a pilot?
Excuse me? Of course I am. Why the hell do you think I take such an interest in this type of stuff? Look, regardless, I find the address of the research and development center that John worked for, okay, where they have these privately patented jets. Okay, and I mask up like I'm hitting a lick back in '85 and make my way over to the facility. In my mind, I'm ready to get over that ice wall and land on that dark continent tonight.
So you stole a jet to see if there were really lands beyond the ice wall, to see if the things John Hemington spoke of, the dark continent, the pantheons, actually existed.
Exactly. Look, I had nothing to lose. And so I'm standing outside a maximum security fence at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, masked up. You know, I'm just trying to spot any possible security, but I cut the fence and make my way in. And
As I shattered the glass to get into the building, this alarm just starts blaring, and I'm thinking, hell, if there wasn't security on shift yet, they're definitely on their way now, right? And so I'm just sprinting down the hall, hearts racing, until I find the aerial control department, and I just grab the first badge I see off the aircraft key card repository. And as I sprint back out to the flight line to get on one of these jets, I see the facility's security personnel just flushing the place. And I mean, I've got good distance, but they're on my tail. And so as I jump inside a jet and start initializing the engine, I'm seeing security literally just sprint head on in my direction. But I mean, look, I wasn't stopping. I was in too deep at this point. Where it really had gotten out of control, right, was as I start to take off down the airstrip, I see one of the other jets behind me start to rev up, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, I hope these people are ready for the jet chase of the century, because I ain't landing until I'm 1,000 miles beyond the ice wall.
You're out of your mind, man.
Look, it gets to a point, I'm flying south over the Antarctic Ocean. I've got 2 or 3 of these other jets behind me. They're kind of radioing me on the traffic control, just threatening me, begging me to land. I'm saying back to them, like, just trust me. You guys don't understand, right? Like, we've been lied to. Trust me, you'll see what's ahead. They're going, buddy, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, we're just going to come back up around the other side of the globe. You know, they're telling me we're going to hit the Indian Ocean, Australia, right? They were thinking in terms of the global model. But this is where it gets crazy. You know, as they realize I ain't stopping, one of the other pilots says to me, he goes, listen, you land that thing now, we sign an NDA and go home, act like this never happened. But go ahead, continue forward if you must, but just know it's a one-way ticket. You ain't ever coming back.
What did you do?
What I set out to. I could see the wall by this point. There was no turning back. And as I fly over the wall, the other jets behind me just hit wide pivots to turn around, and the pilot radios me one last time. He goes, crazy son of a bitch. Good luck, kid. And I mean, look, I just soar off into no man's land. I'm baffled. I'm seeing land masses that have never been accounted for. The navigational equipment on the jet is no longer working, but I know as long as I stay due south, I'll reach Panthea. I'll reach the Dark Continent. And lo and behold, 30 or so hours later, sun goes down and it never comes back up. I start to drop my altitude to get a better view, and there she was. I saw the dark lands. I saw everything that Hemington had spoke of. Look, I landed the jet on a clear landscape, and before I even had a chance to get out, there they were. The Pantheons Hemington spoke of, stepping in slowly. I mean, they were literally surrounding the aircraft. You know, I'm thinking, what the hell are they doing, right? And as I'm getting ready to power up the engine, I can't move a muscle.
What do you mean?
I couldn't move if I'd wanted to. I believe they'd had some sort of control over my central nervous system. Their biofield was just so disproportionately powerful.
That's impossible.
Listen, when an electromagnetic broadcast is strong enough, it can influence another. Okay, it's like an EMP on your nervous system.
What happened?
As they got closer, it got stronger. I felt them probing my mind, wanting to know who I was, where I came from. They saw everything.
What did they want?
My hands started moving against my will and pulled the lever to release the airlock on the door of the jet. 8 or 9 of them came on board.
My God.
As my hands went through the motions of initializing takeoff, I realized what they wanted.
You brought them back here.
At that point,
Giants.
This is the edge of the universe located 16 billion light-years away from Earth, and no matter what, you will never cross it. This limit exists because of a cosmic speed restriction discovered by Albert Einstein. Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. However, there is one exception to this rule: the universe itself. Space-time, the fabric of the cosmos, is continuously expanding. Think of it like a sponge swelling with water. Every point in the universe stretches farther apart from every other. The farther something is from you, the faster it recedes. Eventually, a distance is reached where galaxies and light are retreating from us faster than light can travel. Even if you traveled at the speed of light or faster, if that were possible, you would never catch up. That unreachable region forms what is known as the cosmological event horizon, the real physical edge of our observable universe, beyond which no signal, no matter how fast, can ever reach us.
These two guys attempted to build the stairway to heaven, and it kinda worked. In the year 1915, brothers Earl and Brock Lee moved down to Jazz City, Utah for work. They eventually both got jobs in construction, but just a few months in, Brock was struck in the head by a piece of debris at work and had to take time off. After the accident, Brock was never quite the same, and that's when he came up with the idea to build a stairway to heaven. After a little convincing, Earl decided he would help. The two of them moved into a small house on the side of a mountain and began construction. After a couple of years, they successfully built the stairway up to about cloud level. But sadly, in the year 1917, a man named Ray Zenz was flying his personal plane and accidentally crashed into the stairway, unable to see it due to how cloudy it was. Tragically, the stairway came crumbling down, with the brothers at the top of it. Obviously, the brothers and Ray didn't survive the accident, but in a way, they did reach their goal.
Crazy historical coincidences that cannot be explained. In 1893, a man named Henry Ziegland broke up with his girlfriend at the time, who then died by suicide. Her brother tried to kill Henry by shooting at him, but he missed, and the bullet got stuck in a tree. 20 years later, Henry Ziegland decided to cut down the tree. When it fell, the bullet was dislodged and flew out, which struck him, killing him on the exact spot where he had been shot at 20 years earlier. On August 6, 1945, a Japanese man named Tsutomu Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima for a work trip when the first atomic bomb was dropped. Despite severe burns and injuries, he managed to escape the city and return home to Nagasaki the next day. 3 days later, while on his way to work, the second atomic bomb was dropped, this time in his own city. Miraculously, he survived again and went on to live up until his death in 2010. In 1912, a woman named Violet Jessup was aboard the Titanic when it sank after hitting an iceberg. Luckily, she survived. A few years later, in 1916, she was on the Britannic when it struck a mine and sank again. She survived. Lastly, she was on board the Olympic, which collided with another ship, and yet she survived again, and is known as the only person to have survived 3 separate disasters at sea.
The crazy story of how Christopher Columbus discovered America. It's been a beautiful sunny day on August 3rd of 1492, when Columbus and his compañeros wanted to get some new fresh spices from the big land of India. As the world map looked like this during that time, and Columbus wanted to avoid the dangerous old route through the Arab lands, he decided to sail westward this time, the direct way to India. And so, full of confidence, Columbus started its trip from Spain, and after 3 months of sailing, on October 12th, he finally reached Indian land, which was in reality the Caribbean islands. He was fully convinced that he had made it to India, and even until his death, he never realized he didn't. That's also the reason why the indigenous people of America are often being referred to as Indians, even though this term is considered outdated today. Other explorers like Vespucci and Waldseemüller then began to realize that the lands Columbus had encountered were part of a previously unknown continent, the America.
Climbed the great my grad something was uncovered last week in Antarctica, and no one can explain it. 3 friends, just ordinary kayaker set out to paddle a newly formed river, revealed after an unusual heat wave melted centuries of ancient ice. They wanted to be the first down this untouched waterway, but what they found has scientists and governments scrambling. As they rounded a sharp bend, 2 massive statues emerged from the melting cliffs. Not boulders, not ice formations, actual statues, weathered, humanoid, and impossibly large. Their kayaks looked like toys next to the feet alone. One of them, Chris Smith, had military drone experience. He launched it immediately. The footage he captured is now being reviewed by archaeologists around the world. The carvings, the posture, the eerie resemblance to ancient Mediterranean art, except these have never been seen before. Some say they look Roman, others say there's something far older, something forgotten. But here's where it gets chilling. After passing the statues, the friends claim they saw something they refuse to describe. They've gone silent. One of them left the country. Another shut off all social media. Now, Dr. Remy Dimian, expert in ancient tectonic shifts, at the site. And according to him, what lies beyond those statues was never meant to be found.